We have so much money coming in, we're thinking about a little rebate, but the big thing we want to do is pay down debt. We're thinking about a rebate because we have so much money coming in from tariff that's a little rebate for people of a certain income level might be very nice.
You heard of the Doge dividend. Well, how about a tariff tip? President Trump says America's tariff revenue windfall could show up directly in Americans' bank accounts. He is leaving the door open for rebate checks after customs revenue hit record highs in June. I think we've pulled in $100 billion so far this year.
That's right.
300 is projected by the end of the year. But critics say America needs to put all this money towards its massive debt pile, still sitting around $36 trillion. And for me, I'm a little bit mixed on this one. I think we've given out enough stimulus and, the money's been taken from people already, so to credit it back, and he said for certain people of a certain income level, I think that's questionable because people of other income levels have paid into this too. The Doge dividend is coming out to roughly $1,200 a person with respect to what they've been able to bring in. They're doing the baby savings bonds, or accounts, which I understand because the birth rate is dropping. It's like, how much of this can you do? We've got a debt problem. Instead of whipping Jerome Powell and saying you got to take 300 basis points off the Fed funds rate, let's pay down some of our debt with this extra savings.
I can't tell, are you a fan of Powell or not?
No, I don't like him, but I'm just saying.
Just observing the facts of what's happening right now. Well, it says above my head, it says tariff surplus. And but we don't really, we're getting tariff revenue, but we definitely don't have a surplus.
No, I know.
If we've got a surplus, I am all for getting money back to Americans. I'm all for cutting taxes, even when we have a deficit, and then holding the government accountable to cut their spending. But we don't have a surplus. Whatever tariff revenue we're getting is not, it's not even coming close to covering the interest we pay on our debt. So, but I do, having said that, one thing about the president I do get on this is he wants people to understand that the things he's doing do have real world positive consequences for them. Now, you can argue about tariffs if you want to. So that's why he wants to do this stuff. And in politics and in life, there is something about tangibly helping people see that they're getting a benefit from a policy so that they support it and don't go to the other side, which we've got plenty of, which is promising free rent, free groceries, free buses, all this stuff. He's playing I think, a smart political game, even if I'm disagreeing with the fact that we should have a rebate.
It's consistent with his strategy, too, because think about, he's arguing we can outgrow our debt problem, right? How do you help that along this way? Show Americans tangibly, look, this came back in. And guess where that money is going to go? We saw it during COVID. It's going to go into the economy in different ways.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about, because some projections show the deficit's going to balloon by $3.4 trillion over the next 10 years. Some estimates are lower than that when you factor in the growth that will come as a result of the Trump economy and the engine all working together. But having said that, there was a lot in the bill that many people didn't support. There was spending in the bill that was difficult to pull the reins back in on because, once it's out there, it's out there. And so should we be using the tariff revenue or the Doge savings to then cut some of those numbers down? Yeah,
so those CBO estimates are wildly inaccurate, right? If there's a new one out from Torsten Slok saying that if you factor in AI, it's actually going to be less of a deficit spending. So AI is deflationary. But here's my thing. Every mainstream American knows every single politician has wasted money sometime in their career without your permission. Is $1,200 really going to make a difference? Every American getting that qualifies really going to make a difference on our deficit?
I guess that's what I'm also questioning.
I think this is more marketing and fulfilling just your promises of, hey, I'm going to do these things. And to Brian's point, I'm going to show you tangible proof that I did them and they had a positive outcome. And then let's move forward. Because this single check is not going to change Washington's penchant for runaway spending.
Call me crazy, but wouldn't that be inflationary between the tax cuts, basically another stimulus kind of check, and the baby savings accounts, all this money that's going out and consumption out there? That says to me, uh-oh.
Yeah, anytime you give people more money, they're going to spend it. And if they spend it, in theory, that's inflationary. Yes, I agree. The problem is I'm not sure that people can tangibly appreciate, understand, grasp, whatever the right expression is, that, yes, we've taken this money from these other countries or companies in other countries, and we're using it to pay down the debt. Really? I mean, the debt is up here.
I know.
And what we're collecting is
But you have to start somewhere.
I mean, So, what have you really accomplished? Not much. And you might actually get more mileage out of handing people a check than trying to explain the economics of, well, we did pay down a little bit of the
We
debt.
held off on
Okay,
the
fine.
Italian beehives on top
What do
of
you
the
think,
federal.
Lydia?
You might be right, and you all are probably right, but there is part of me that says, whatever happened about teaching young folks about delayed gratification and responsibility, and is this a missed opportunity to illustrate, we did these tariffs and we're collecting money, now we're going to do the responsible thing by paying down this massive $36 trillion debt. I look at that and I worry about my kids. And this is an opportunity to start really living by the practice what we preach. We're going to do the responsible thing. We're going to pay down the debt. Yeah, it's the hard thing to do, but in the long term, we're going to do it again and again and again until we get this country back on the right course. Am I being a little
I guess
naive here?
it's like,
No,
can
I
you
like that.
save on your Starbucks latte to make yourself a millionaire? Probably not. There's
And
other things we
unfortunately,
can do. to
most
cut the
people
deficit.
don't do it, but you could take that
could.
money and
Theoretically.
invest it, and you would be better off.